folks, come on in. This is Tina, aka Teemaw here, and I wanted to give you an update on my Happy Fall diamond painting by Mary Lou Troutman from Crystal Canvas Art Design. And in the beginning, I did a WIP and chat, and I decided to change these quad cubes to fancy dots, so I kept that. I did not use those P4S like I was gonna. I thought it would be too much, so I just stuck with the AB drills, and that seems to be working out okay. So here's some of the things I'm using. I did an unboxing of the Bijou Bliss design trays and the fall colors. I realized when I first started this, I did not have any fall colors of trays. And with the Bijou Bliss, I can customize them as well. And on the inside with the lines, which I love. And this is a new pocket size. Anyway, you can watch that video. This is from Nyx's Notions. This is my favorite size from her, the shrimp boat. And she customized this top for me. Isn't that awesome? I can't, that was just so incredible. Anyway, there'll be a video out on these as well. I can't get the top off because I put it on over the tape right now. And her little Shine Bright box. I thought this was so clever. And this is the perfect size for release papers, actually. Right now, I just have the fancy dots sitting in there. And of course, our 3D printed jerry-majiggers. I love this galaxy green and the copper. It's beautiful, but there's all the other colors are gorgeous too. The galaxy green and the bronze is beautiful. We have the burnt titanium and the copper. That's gorgeous. That's like a black and orange look. I am still using this Dazzle deck. This is the galaxy green Dazzle deck with the copper insert, and that is working great for this painting, this size. So let's see a little bit about, I have gotten a little bit done considering I hadn't diamond painted in forever. So let me show you what I have gotten done here. So you can see, and I'll zoom in closer here in a minute. I got the fancy dots in the middle of the flowers. And you can see from the reflections, so these areas are AB drills. Going up the pumpkin stem in green, those are green AB drills. And this is a crystal AB that's in the veins of this pumpkin. And again, more fancy dots there. This, I've just got to the letters, and these are the Sparklers White Opal. And they're really fantastic. They do look like there's a fire behind them. I also am liking how the pixie dust is subtle, but inside that black, it makes the leaf pop out. In person, it doesn't quite pop out as much as you're seeing it, but you can see how it makes the shape of the leaf come forward. Whereas in the original painting, it was just a darker crystal, not quite black, but a darker, and it was very, very subtle. And here we just brought it forward a teeny bit, but it's still in the background. And I like how the AB drills on this flower are just around the tips, and that's coming through. So I am really liking the dimensions here. This pumpkin did not end up with anything extra on it itself, except for starting at the stem and then coming into it with these AB drills here and the glitter drills here. So I thought with this coming in, that would be okay. I mean, I would love to have put some sort of brown AB in here. I just didn't want the bundle to be too expensive, so I did not do that. Okay, so we're going to bring you down. We're going to use this mini, was my favorite size, and right now I'm switching between these two a lot. Let's see, I got a few extra colors. I'll do that. When I have a more just the black, then I'll use a bit bigger tray. And I'm going to bring you forward a little bit, or down. And let's see here. Get you all in place. So we can get a little bit of painting done. Sorry. There we go. So I have gotten a little bit done in the past 3 weeks. Not a lot, granted, but something. Been diamond paint occasionally. I haven't diamond painted this last week, so it's been at least a week for me. And let's see what we have in here. So we have a few J's, I guess. We're gonna, I thought I had only black in the background, but I think I finished that section. So if you'll recall when I was kitting this up, the J's and I believe this ampersand, those are the same sub drill because there weren't a lot of these colors. So I went ahead, since they were so similar in the crystal, I went ahead and made both symbols to be this crystal AB pearl. And it is domed on top. Ooh, they look beautiful in this tray, don't they? That's pretty. Okay, so let's see. We have the J and the ampersand. So I got to make sure. Let's take off this paper. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know how I got over here to the middle, because I normally work at the end and work my way up. And somebody in the comments said, well, I go all the way around first. So I said, I'll try all the way around. Well, I've never done that before. I'm not sure how I feel about that personally. So I'm not sure I will do it again. Also, I have been using a light behind this, a light pad, when I'm in the living room. And I even got a new overhead light. It's one of those lamp lights. Excuse me, lamps. It is a lamp for nails. Let me get my... So it's a nail light. Not for... This is from Kevin's Creations on Etsy. And this is... My pen is an Ivy's Dazzler pen. I dropped it. Whatever the drill went, we'll see. Where did you go? I don't know. But this is Ivy's Dazzlers over on Facebook. They're the creators of this metal tip. I think I've shown that before. It's a plunger in there, so an everlasting tip. And I have had, these are glue dots that I happen to have had in there since February. Granted, I haven't done and painted a lot, but they've lasted a long time. And of course, as soon as I pull them back and show you, hopefully they'll keep working. But they have worked a long time for me. So at night, I've been using my new light. I'll have the light pad underneath this, and I will use the overhead nail light. So it looks like a rectangle with the bottom piece missing. It's really big, but I also like that it's not just bright white. I can have it yellowy looking, but I need some light source from the top and some from the bottom. If it's all from the bottom, then I can't see the top of my drills. So I have to have a little light from the top and a little from the bottom. It does make you feel hemmed in a little bit. You know, it makes a boundary around the table, but it works. And it actually is so big, it fits right over this canvas from end to end. That's how big that light is. So it's a pretty big light. Okay, so what have y'all been up to? I've seen a lot of finishes over there in the Drills and Chills group. And some people are on their second, third, maybe more canvases. Also, I know that with the beginning of October, we've had a few new events start. The Break the Silence event has just started, and that's about domestic violence awareness. I know that they will have auctions. I know that I have donated a box of crystals, and that will have a jerry-majigger with it free, purple to match the theme of the event. The theme of that event is purple or butterflies. So your diamond painting has to be either mostly purple or butterflies, I believe. Hopefully I got that right. And it's only the month of October. So that one has started. Drills and Chills is still going. We got the rest of this month for Drills and Chills. Trying to think of what else is going. The Small Shop Haul, of course, because that's why I chose this canvas for the Small Shop Haul. And let's see. I can't remember. Y'all will have to tell me, what other events are you participating in? So what do we got? Again, the J and the ampersand. Okay, gotta remember those. Because trying to do two symbols at once with the same one, I get mixed up sometimes. Sorry about that. Again, so the original crystals were very, very close. Hard to tell the difference. And that's why I chose to sub for both of these. Okay, so we've been busy. I have not yet. We've got more shipments of drills in. I have not yet gotten through them all. As soon as I finished all the boxes, more came in, which is fine. But they've been sitting in my kitchen for another week now, and I don't like that because when they are restocks, it takes forever. Because if they're new, you weigh them, you make sure they got the right quantity, you check the quality, and you check it off. That's all you do when new ones come in, and it might be work, and getting the drills in is really nasty. Our boxes get filthy dirty from the gravel road and the UPS trucks, and then the insides are dirty too. So I don't know, they're just filthy. Okay, let's see. So anyway, it takes a while, and it's a dirty job. I have to wear gloves, etc. to do that. I think that's all on this section. And I made this section bigger just because with the jigger, if I had turned it like this, then I would have had, you know, 2 little sections. Then I could have, but it was mostly the white and black, and I just did this one big for whatever reason. I have been using just this single size section, though, on every other part of this page, or the diamond painting so far. Okay, so let's think about this. Again, what other events are you doing in all these boxes? So the boxes are now filled again, and what happens is when I restock, when we do restock colors, you have to get out what you currently have in stock, or at least what the last batch was. And you have to compare it. So you open up, you pour some out, and you compare the new replacement colors with the original ones. And if you're lucky, they match, or a very close match. And you go, yay, you weigh them, you check them off, and then you got to put them in stock. Then you mark on all the bags, and of course, if they're new, you got to mark on all the bags too. So we have to write in big letters instead of Chinese letters, etc. We just write out in big block letters what it is, a round crystal AB995, whatever. And then we go to the next one and the next one. But with the restocks are a pain in the booty because the majority, I don't even know what percentage, but a lot of the time they're not the same die lot. We put that on the site. Y'all are aware of that if you've watched me for any length of time. But it is so frustrating because when we make the ES, it's based off that, whatever, 5 kilograms of that particular die lot. Well, when that die lot does not come back the same, it can be a little off, and that still works. But when it's a lot off, that is very hard, because that means any enhancement suggestion that we have ever made and use that as a replacement drill, that means it won't even look like it. Some of them are very bad. You know what? I have a picture of one of them. Let me show you this, because they're so bad, and I don't know what to do about it. I really don't. Let's see. Okay. So many pictures. I'll have to tell you about the other things we've done this past week or so. And not there, of course. So let's go here. And let's find, I know I sent one to Serenity. Okay, here's just one example. So this happens to be, sorry, my phone is dirty. This happens to be glitter, and we were trying to replace this beautiful 824 glitter with an iridescent top. That's what came in. And I know it is hard to see with this phone. There we go. That's a little better. But these are 2 totally different colors. It matches this one better, 3844. So it's better. It's not an exact match for this. This has a teeny bit more green, but in person it is a better match than this, which this is way different, a totally different color. And this is the one it's supposed to be replaced. We don't have very many bags of this left. So how frustrating is that to wait 2 months and to get colors in that don't replace the colors we need? And this happens so many times. I cannot even tell you how frustrating it is. So that's what one of the things we've been going through this past week is when I've had time, I try to check those in. Now, of course, every day there's still the, customer service and emails. That happens every day. And if I get behind, say because the weekend we want to do something. So last weekend we had the Sparklers Day at the park, and if I didn't do emails then, and I did probably spent the 30 minutes going and coming doing emails. Well, not coming home. We were so tired I fell asleep. But I get behind on them if I don't. But I try to do emails every day. And when I can get to, I know Monday, I went to the orthodontist with Charity. And that's my youngest. And she got her second set of braces off for good. So out of 11 children, we should be done with braces. We had, let's see, Bobby, Brittany, John Josiah, and Charity twice. So six sets of braces out of 11. Not too bad. Jerry and I didn't have to have them, so not too bad. Yeah, not horrible. Although we had 2 of them have to have their wisdom teeth out. They didn't have braces, but they did have to have their wisdom teeth out this year. They got those out, 2 boys. So we got those out on Monday, and we got the deck finished. The deck was finished this week, Wednesday or Thursday. It was finished. He has to come back by for his final check. We're going to waterproof under the deck so that we can park our Sparklers trailer there. Right now it is under a tarp, but the tarp gets blown off. It gets blown away and ripped up. And eventually you just have to keep replacing the tarp. So we're going to just see if it's feasible to waterproof under the deck so that we can park that trailer there. That's what we're going to try. Since we didn't do both sets of stairs coming off, we couldn't afford to do both sets. So we did one set to one side. Now we can be able to pull the trailer under the deck if we get it waterproofed. And I guess I don't mean waterproof, just where the rain doesn't drip into it through the cracks. I think there's just a kind of like a gutter system, something like that, where it's like a sheet of vinyl or something under there where it just diverts it to a spout of some sort. I don't know. It might be too expensive. He's supposed to come back with the pricing on that. So he's supposed to give us a quote, and we'll see how that does. But in the meantime, we've got the deck and our braces off. Bobby and Lauren came over one night. And we watched Ben and Missy's children Bobby and Lauren came Wednesday night, and then Ben and Missy's children we watched on Thursday. So that's a little hard to get some things done too. They've learned us to keep out of all of the stuff that's laying over the house and all the bags of drills and everything everywhere at this point. But while I was sitting there, and if you watch my live, you've already heard some of this, at Charity's orthodontist appointment, I had to do something because they were taking off her braces, and that's over an hour appointment. And I started just scrolling properties again because we'd been looking for a property in the middle of the year. We started in June looking at properties to have a craft retreat on. That's what we really would like to do, because I've been just going to them for 5 years now, and I would really like a dedicated retreat here in Missouri, mid-Missouri. Now, it won't hold a lot of people right now. It won't. But we're trying. We're going to see what we can do. And I found a piece of property on Monday. And I spent Monday evening, all day Tuesday and Wednesday and Thursday on the phone with everybody and their uncle. The recorders, county assessors, planning and zoning, the water districts, 2 different ones, trying to find if it has city water or not. So we were trying to, everything. I called septic folks, got quotes from septic people, well people, the whole 9 yards. Had to call a title company, look up a warranty deed. What were the restrictions on this land? Right now, this land that we found, you can't have hogs or a trailer. You can't ride motorized two-wheel bike things that aren't licensed up the gravel road, because it is on a gravel road. But it is just 2 miles from town. It did this year get fiber. Yay. So it does have, fiber cable there, which we don't have here. So that's awesome. I don't know if we would ever get tired of that gravel road. We have a gravel road here, and of course, then we'd have a gravel road there, and that one's pretty steep. And if it is icy, or there's low points in the road getting to it. So if you have a rainy season or icy, you're not getting in or out, at least not anytime soon. So that's not great. I know that. And I don't know if that'll ever be fixed or not. I don't know. But it's a beautiful property. Very excited about it. That's all we could think about. Finally, thought we were going to, thought about putting a metal builder on it. Oh, we even talked to the bank. I talked with the commercial loan lenders. So I'm going to have to submit a plan to them and a business plan. So now I got to learn how to do all that, and financials, et cetera, and what I want to do. So all these things. And then on Friday, maybe Thursday or Friday, I can't remember. The title company sent me the warranty deed, where the last sentence says, it's no trailers, no hogs, no two-wheeled vehicles, motorized vehicles that are unlicensed on the road. But it also says this is for residential purposes only. No, okay, hold on, let's see what it says. It says, I have it here on my phone. Okie dokie. Let's see. It says at the very last, this land shall be used for residential and related purposes only. I'm like, oh, shucks. What does that mean? So I'm not sure I sent that to the guy. His name is Jerry as well. And he's like, oh, what does that mean? Maybe you shouldn't do this. I'm like, I don't know. So I ended up calling back the planning and zoning people. And by this time, I've talked to him 3 times this week. And I was telling him, now, you know what I want to do? He goes, well, I'm not a lawyer. I can't interpret that for you. And by the way, that's the same thing U.S. title said. I said, I know that. I'm not asking you to interpret that. What I am asking you is, if it were you wanting to do what we want to do, would you go forward? Or if it was one of your children, would you advise them to move forward with that? And he says, sure, I wouldn't let them that stop them, because he said that's what a conditional use permit is. So we would have to apply to the county. We'd have to pay them $1,000, and that's to help pay for the attorney's fees, the posting in a newspaper, and plus $1,000 plus the mailers to any property that abuts that one by 1,000 feet. So any property that abuts that by 1,000 feet, they would be notified by certified mail that someone wants a conditional use permit there, and when the meeting is going to be. So they have the opportunity, if they want to come to the administrative building and go to the meeting, which is held like the 3rd Thursday of every month, and see what's going on if they want to object and not want that in their neighborhood. So it's a little scary, $1,000 presentation. So we're going to go there this month. We're going to go there on the 3rd week of this month, not for us, but to see how this process works, to see how formal it is. Because I told the guy, I'm like, do I have to have all of the floor plans and everything by that time? He goes, no, just a sketch of how it would be on there, whatever. I said, do I even have to buy the property before I do that? Because what if it's not approved and we bought this property? He goes, technically, you don't have to buy it beforehand, but you would have to get an affidavit from the owner stating that you're going to buy it contingent upon the issuance of a conditional use permit. So we could do that, but this guy's in a little bit of a pickle. What? Here's his story. So he has been up there, he says, I think he said 28 years. Something round about them numbers. Whatever, definitely over 20 years. And he met a lady who was living in her camper up there and had poured a foundation, a concrete foundation basement, and she wanted to build a log cabin. That's when he met her up there on I guess 10-ish, 11-ish acres. And they got together, and they were together ever since, 20-something years. And over those years, they've accumulated more sheds, and he built a cabin. It is not finished. They still lived out of the basement, but they have built over, the top, and from the road, you can see the cabin, and it's a very cute little cabin, but it is not finished inside. He took us in and showed us. He's done a lot of work over 20-something years, but it's not finished. It's the upstairs is not livable. They were still only living in the basement. We did not see the basement, nor did I ask to see it. I did not want to see it. So anyway, however, they were never married. So they were together that long and not married. He just figured they were married by common law, nor did she ever have a will. So her property went to the next of kin. She had 3 siblings, and they were all older, 70s, 80s. And 2 of them said, a brother and a sister said, you know what? You have been with her so long. You've built that cabin. We don't want that. We're going to quit claim our portions over to you, Jerry. So they quit claimed their ownership over to him. So at that point, he now has 2/3 ownership. Well, the 3rd sibling decided she wanted her fair share. I don't even know if she's ever even been up there and seen it, but she wanted her fair share. So she paid for appraisals. Oh, and in the meantime, in the interim of those 20 years, the owner went ahead and bought another 7 acres that added onto that, making a little over 18. So it's an 18-acre lot that they are on up there. Again, it's just 2 miles from town, but it feels like you're out in the hills of Tennessee. It's crazy how you're in town next to a high school, and 2 miles down the road, it feels like you're in the mountains or mountainous. It's a wonderful property, except for that gravel road. But it's amazing the difference location makes. Anyway, so she'd added on it. She had owned over 18 acres over the years. So the 2 quit claimed their share over to Jerry, and this one holdout says, no, here's the appraisal of this whole land. So what I want you to do is give me 1/3 of the value. I want $100,000. He's like, I don't got $100,000. He lives off Social Security. He don't got $100,000. And the lady, when she died, didn't leave him nothing. Because he didn't get anything. And what was that one? There's where it was. So he thought long and hard about it, and he says, you know what? This was 3 years ago. She died 3 years ago. He thought about it, and he goes, you know what? I am going to offer her that 7 acres and some cash. Here's the 7 acres and some cash. I want, so you'll be happy, you can go away. She goes, nope, I don't want the land. I want money. And if you don't give me $100,000 of money, I don't know what. He says, I don't know. I don't know how he can. I do not think that she could kick him off when he owns 2/3 now. 2/3 have been deeded over to him. And I would say that 11 acres in the cabin is worth 2/3 of that, and the 7 acres worth the other. Personally, I don't know why his lawyer has not gotten that, and the 7 acres should be in that lady's name, period. That's just the way it should be. Somehow she's refused, and she wouldn't take that other offer, and here he is sitting on it, did I tell y'all? I didn't tell y'all how we got to know Jerry, did I? Sorry, I think I dropped another drill. Did I tell you? No. All right, let's get back to how we got to know Jerry real quick to explain how we found out about this place. So, I was sitting there looking for land. I found, when Charity was getting her braces off, and I found some land for sale by owner on Facebook Marketplace. And it happened to be 22 acres of land. And he wouldn't give you the address. He wouldn't do drive-bys. And this was Monday, and he could only meet us there this Sunday, tomorrow. That's it. So we were going to say okay and wait, of course. But I was very curious because it sounded good. It was 22 acres of land, and it was prime hunting ground, and it had an agreement with Missouri Conservation that they would keep clearing it off because it backs up to, so he described in there, 2 sides back up to the state forest up at the northernmost point at a private access, blah, blah, blah. So he described so much that we called our friend who knew how to work the websites, from the county, etc. And he goes, "You got his name?" And I said, "Yes." I told him his name on Facebook. So, and I told him exactly where it had to be, of looking at this map, at least the areas that were described. And he goes, "Found them." And we found the location of the 22 acres. So we got the address. And that day when I come home after the braces and after work, I said, "Jerry, let's run up there and see what it's like." So we ran up there, and again, beautiful area, some low spots in the road, a hill, gravel hill. I said, "Gosh, this area is pretty." And Jerry says, "Ooh, that meadow's real pretty." I said, "The meadow's not part of the 22. It's only this little bitty build spot right here in the back. And the back of the 22 is pretty useless unless you're a hunter." And he was wanting a lot of money for it. So I said, "Let's stop and talk to a neighbor about those low spots in the road, see what they're like." So someone was outside in their garage, and we stopped and talked to the neighbor. Boy, they knew us. They acted like they knew us. It was crazy. "Hi, I'm so-and-so. Yeah, the roads, they're bad maybe once a year, maybe twice a year. The water over the roads, like this spring was really bad. Again, if you've watched my lives on Friday night, you'll know that 3 miles below us on our road, there's a sinkhole happened in the spring. So there was so much flooding this spring here, but we're up high. So it's not going to flood us, but there's so much rain, it washed out the road on the side of a big hill, or a small mountain, but a side of a big hill. And it was crazy. And they're still working on it. Hopefully they're supposed to get it open up before the end of the year, which would be good. But anyway, so in a time like that, when it's really been raining a lot, it comes up fast, and you might have to wait 40 minutes to an hour or something. And most people have 4-wheel drives up in there, or trucks, and can just go through it. Some people, especially when it's icy, they either get iced in or they get out and go rent a hotel room or what have you. Okay? So that's what people do. And we were asking her all this, and she goes, "Oh, are you looking at Jerry's land?" And I'm like, "No, it's land up here." She goes, "What?" "Yeah, just land right across the way from it." "Well, Jerry's got land." "Well, this ain't Jerry's land. This is somebody else's land." I said, "Who is this Jerry?" "Well, he's our neighbor right here. He's our backdoor neighbor." Now, she's down at the bottom of a cliff, and Jerry's up at the top of a cliff. So Jerry's her backdoor neighbor up above her. She goes, "Well, come on, I'm going to get in the gator. I'll take you up there." So we turned around, we followed her in the gator up the road, and we pulled into the driveway, and she's knocking on the cabin door, and nobody's there. She goes, "Well, gosh, I guess he's not here." And then he comes pulling up in the drive. So, "Oh, there's Jerry." So we start talking to Jerry. She introduces to Jerry, "Who are you?" that type of thing. And I tell him what we're doing, and we're talking and jabbering, and he's now telling us his whole history and that kind of thing with the lady. He calls her old woman, that, my old woman. Well, we finally get around to, and the neighbor goes, "Okay, well, you're selling. How much you asking?" And he says how much he's asking. I said, "Okay. well, I'm interested, and I got his name and number, and I'll call him tomorrow. This is what I want to do with it. Does that bother you? And then one neighbor says, not at all. I think it'd be cool. And he's like, not me. And of course, he's in a bind. He don't care. I said, you don't mind looking at a building right out there in your pasture now instead of having it open? He goes, nope, don't bother me none. Okay. So that's when it started all the research the next day and everything I could and talking to everybody else. So that's how we met Jerry, and all by happenstance. Well, we were ready to go to the title company or whatnot, and then he talked to his lawyer, and his lawyer says, well, that's not enough. So the next day when we talked to him, he goes, well, I'm sorry, I need to ask some more. So he asked $10,000 more than the night before. So that was a little disappointing, because the night before that quote, that was a good deal for us. But the $10,000 more just makes it like an everyday price, right? It just makes it, the value of it would be what anybody, if you're listing it or something. So it wasn't a bad deal. It's just, you're not paying above the value, but you're also not getting below the value of the land. But that's what he needed. So we're saying, okay. And then that's what started all the research to say, what if we tried to do that here? And we talked to the neighbors. I looked up numbers. I talked to as many neighbors as I possibly could. We went the next day and met the back door neighbor. His name is Mike, and he's in his 70s, and his one son had died, I think, in the military. So, anyway, nice neighbors. He took us in his gator and showed us, because he's the one that sold the 22 acres to the other gentleman. And I told him, I said, we were up here looking at that. He's going to be up here Sunday. He goes, well, I didn't know he was going to try to sell that, because he just sold it to him 2 years ago. And all he's done is, he's put some deer stands up, and he's had Missouri Conservation. I don't know how much work it took to get on that program, but he's had them come in there and do some work, and he's had 2 years of deer tracking patterns. There's some 5 trail cams down there, that kind of stuff. But still, it's not, he's asking more than double his money in 2 years for that property. And when he took pictures of it on Facebook, the pictures he showed included some of the backdoor neighbors' road. It makes you think you can use that road to get to his property, but you can't. You'd have to build a new road. So you would have to build a road in. And then he also told me that it has city water and city sewer. So that man is wrong. He's misinformed. It does not have city water, city sewer. I found that out after, meeting Jerry and calling all the city the next day. There is no city water or city sewer, so we'd have to have a well and septic, which is quite a bit more expensive. The electric's there and the high-speed internet there, the fiber's there. So that guy is misinformed and was asking more than twice of what he paid for it 2 years ago. And we couldn't afford that, much less not have all of that be usable, or at least the majority of it usable. So we told him no, we're not going to meet with him. And I'm glad he told us no, because we never would have met Jerry or seen this other property for sale. So that's where we're at. So the guy told us that it wouldn't stop him from buying the property. He goes, because that's what's happened all across the county. People are running businesses out of their home, and they just apply for this conditional use permit. And so, yeah, that's what people do all the time. It's not a commercial business like an industrial park that's made for businesses. People are doing them out of their homes. I told them what we want to do. We want to build a home where we have ladies come in each week and rent a space, basically, to stay a week and then go home. And so he said, yep, that's what this is. That's what you would do. And I wouldn't keep me from that, because all the houses, or the majority of the houses, unless there's some land that has no restrictions on it, unrestricted, unless it's completely unrestricted land, which a completely unrestricted land is very hard to find. I'm told there's no restrictions and it's zoned agriculture, but there are a few restrictions on the warranty deed, which was the no hogs and whatever. Anyway, so we were going to move forward with that. And then yesterday, folks, I just happened to look again. I did a refresh because I had those tabs up, and I did a refresh on them, and another property come up. Now, it was higher than we were looking at originally, but it looked like everything we needed. It looked very, very nice. It looked like it was only 3 bedrooms, 2 baths upstairs, but they had this huge outbuilding and like 6 parking spaces, 2 cars attached in this huge outbuilding, and they had a finished basement, so we could have another bedroom in the basement for guests to stay. And so we looked at that all day long, called my realtor. I said, is this really unrestricted? Because this land is on 6 acres. This house is on 6 acres. It does have city water, but it has a septic system on 6 acres. It's also a couple miles from town. It does not have the fiber, though. But it is on blacktop all the way up until you get down to the actual kind of drive, and then you go up a very steep hill. We just thought the other hill was a little bad on Jerry's land, but on this one, it is a very steep hill. And you get up to the top. It's the first house there. It is a nice situation where it looks nice. It's very secluded, very private, unrestricted, but it's 6 acres. And you're lucky if there's 2 usable. There is a chicken coop. They've done a lot of work. They've only lived there 5 years, and they've done a lot of work on the house. So they're asking over twice. They've only been there 5 years and asking double what they put in, what they bought it for. But they had put in a lot of work and had that building. So there is some value in that. So all day yesterday we spent. Last night, it's hard to go to sleep. All my children are talking about it. The children want to invest in this because it is property and a business. And they're like, okay, if we helped with the down payment, maybe that would be easier, and y'all could get more of a loan if we help with the down payment, and then you're not borrowing the down payment from this house. And so we were just really trying to come up with any which way that we could do to try to finance this other house before we saw it. We said, we'll see what comes tomorrow. So we made an appointment for this morning. This is Saturday now. This morning to go see the property. And we got over there. Beautiful, perfect day again. And we were there probably 3 hours. We measured the rooms. I want to tell you what should be illegal is realtors' cameras, or maybe they're not realtors, but whoever does the photos for the realtors, those cameras really should be outlawed. It made every room look at least 10% bigger than it was. So before you get there, you're thinking it's so much bigger because every room looks, oh gosh. And I just, for the amount of money and the amount of unusable land, I just don't think we're going to be able to pull it off. I want to, because I really want to do this, but I just don't think so. The rooms were smaller than the pictures appeared. And even though they said there was 3,600 square feet, I thought that was on one floor. So that would be wonderful and then be worth more, willing to stretch more. No, it's 2,100 upstairs. And then whatever it was, 1,400 or something finished downstairs. So that's the 3,600 total. And when it said 3 bedrooms, 3 baths, it only counts the 3 bedrooms up top, but it counted the third bathroom downstairs. And they're pretty steep stairs. They have finished it very well. But the bedroom in the basement, the room in the basement that they're using as a workout room, they said that the basement was finished for an in-law suite. Well, I don't know how, because there is a sink down there, but there's not even a little fridge. So, okay, let's say you put a little fridge down there. There's no place to cook food or what have you. I guess you could put a microwave if you wanted to. There is a lot of unfinished storage area down there. And one of the things they did was all of the ceilings, there were 9-foot ceilings in the basement. One of the things they did was paint everything above it black. So it looked great. It looked like a restaurant, and they had windows out the back, walkout, and it's a walkout basement. So when we were there, the sun was beautiful and shining inside. But the extra rooms don't have windows down there. So those rooms don't have windows. And yes, I could fit 4 ladies downstairs. They'd have to be ladies who obviously were incapacitated at all, because they would have to be in that room downstairs with no window. And I don't know how I feel about that. And also the bathrooms were smaller than the pictures. There were 3 full baths, but the master, so I think 4 twin beds could fit into the master room, but then they would be sharing the master bath, and the master bath was pretty small, and the toilet is not cut off from the shower, etc., which means whoever is in there using the shower or the toilet, no one else could be at the sinks. And even though it looked nice and modern, they had a very crazy, unusable tub in there. And the sinks and the countertops were so small. I wonder if I have that up. I don't know if I still have that up that I could show you. Yes, I do. So this was the house we went to see today. So it looks awesome. It really does. It presents well. It looks great. They had all of this built on, and they made it look seamless because they built this breezeway, and this breezeway is beautiful in there. Beautiful. So this is great. And now I will tell you that this big building, about 40 by 60, not quite, is not insulated. So we would have to completely insulate that. That's a lot of money. They'd have to completely insulate it. There is a roughed-in bathroom, but we'd have to completely finish the bathroom and insulate that. This breezeway is beautiful. And this garage is also usable. But the ladies here, if they want to access the breezeway, the only way they can is either coming out the front door to the breezeway, or you have to go through the kitchen, through the laundry, down into this garage, and then out the garage door to the breezeway. And I thought that was pretty inconvenient. Let's see if I can get y'all to pass those. So there's the inside. See, it's very well finished, and it feels very modern, very modern. So they've done a great job remodeling this. And we'd have to have like 4 ladies in this area and 10 ladies in this area. Because I think we can fit 3, 6, 10 upstairs and 4 downstairs, so 14. So we'd have to have 4 and 10. And I think it could be doable, but I think it would be tight. And it's not built for that. So you have a door here to the dining and a door here to the kitchen and the door here to the formal dining. So this archway here, you can't use the foyer to craft. There's the steps. They don't show you any pictures of the steps, but those are steep steps. I don't know why they don't show you pictures of the steps. There's again, the formal dining, and there's the entry here into the kitchen. They look so nice. I don't know why, but when you're there and you can't use the backyard because it's on a slope. There's no fans in this living area either. Now here's the kitchen. It's not bad. It didn't necessarily wow me, but it was okay. This dining area, the eat-in kitchen area, this is nice because it's nice and big. Right here. This is nice and long and big and bright. So this I loved, and that could fit 14 ladies in addition to this seating here. This is to the deck. That's the only door to the deck, and there are no stairs off the deck. So there's that. So this was big. This is a pantry. This is a pantry, which, by the way, this little bitty door is where they had the microwave. So there was no microwave on the counter at all. The person who owns this is a realtor, and you could tell the entire thing was staged. It was all staged. I mean, look at this. Everything is perfect. There are no trash cans anywhere. There's no soap at any sink. They are not living there. There's no washer and dryer. Here's the deck. So there's one room. 3 twins could fit in here. I don't think the 4th could, but let's say even we could. It's the bathrooms they'd be sharing. So here's the same bedroom looking from that corner here. See, look. Even the pictures still have it staged. They still looked like that today. This still looked exactly like this today. So I don't think they're living there. This was a small room. I think I could fit 3 twins there. And then this is just looking across into the master. This is the shared bathroom. It does not feel as big as it looks. It's not bad. It just doesn't feel as big as it looks. And then here's the master. And we're pretty sure we could fit 4 beds in here, even with the windows. you can't, behind here is a walk-in closet. Theoretically, someone could stay in there and fit because it's a big closet, but I could fit 4 beds here, and then there's the bathroom. And what do you feel about those doors? What do you feel about the barn doors? I hate them. I hate sliding them. And they also have cracks. So there's no latches on these doors, and there's cracks on each side of this. So here you are in here, and look, you have no window dressing here, and there's the tub. This is the modern tub I'm talking about. I got in that tub, and I couldn't get out of that tub. And right here is your walk-in shower that they made. And this is not as big as it looks in these pictures. It's smaller. Here's the countertops there. There's no soap. And honestly, that toilet paper was not there. And I found out the hard way because I needed to use the bathroom. And yeah, there was no toilet paper there. So yeah, that was not even there. And not even this up here was there. I had to find soap under the sink and a paper towel under the sink. So there's the walk-in shower. Different. It's a beautiful home. There's the laundry room. That's off the kitchen. Behind the kitchen is this narrow walk-through laundry room. And see, that's the ceiling of the breezeway. They've done a great job out there. But anybody in this house would have to walk through the laundry room. Okay, not that big of a deal. Then you go down 2 steps into the garage, walk over to the door, and then there's 3 steps down to the breezeway. That I don't like, which means we really couldn't have Serenity filling orders in the garage because that means people would be walking through here. And they walk through the laundry room. Here is the downstairs bathroom. And this feels way tinier than this. There is no counter at that sink at all. You could barely put a thing for soap there. This one's tiny. And there's another sliding door for this. Okay, that is the bathroom. This sliding door is the bathroom. No latches currently. And then this opening is another sliding door. And that's to the upstairs, the steep stairs. See how they did the ceiling here in the black paint? They did good. And I guess you just, I don't know, you could sit here and eat, or I think they homeschooled. And over here is a sink. And she just put curtains to hide underneath. Again, they staged this well. They have waterproof flooring down there. This is a very nice area. I mean, you could fit more ladies down there. Excuse me. You could fit more ladies down in here. And it was very bright during the day. I don't know if that would be bright enough at night. You'd have to put more lighting in there at night probably, but during the day it was fine. But I didn't want to separate ladies. I didn't want to separate folks down here and upstairs. I mean, how would you like that? I think you're coming to be together, right? And so how would you like that? Now over here, there's another room in here that could be an office, but there's no windows. This is just storage cabinetry and stuff in here. See, there that is. Here's the other office-like room, but no windows. So it's very dark. There's one light in there, no windows. Now this is pretty cool. Those panels on the wall, they are built-in cabinets. I mean, there are some really cool features here. This little built-in shelf was actually a storage room. So, I mean, there are some great features. And over in this room we're about to see, so here's storage under the stairs, and this is a big storage area here. This is a big storage room in there, but again, no lights, no windows. This is the workout room, which is right here. So 4 people could fit in there, but there are no windows. So is that a problem? What do you think? There's a fan, but it wouldn't, no windows. So there you go. And then back up to the kitchen. This is the breezeway. So this door you see, that is the laundry room window, and that's the garage door. So again, you have to go through the laundry room, through the garage, and out to here. Or you go through the front door. So it's a little slightly awkward. Oh, they had a gargantuan fan out here. Gargantuan. And then this is the connecting to the huge new shed. It's a shed. It's bigger than a shed, but metal building. There's a fire pit here. They've made a livable, workable space there. It's really nice. It's very nice. Obviously, it is so staged. It's beautiful, though. And then here's inside that building. So obviously, all the drills would fit here, inside here, where you have a bath. This, they have water, and they think they put their old cabinets here. So they have a like kitchen. It's not a kitchen, but cabinets and water here, with the back behind here could be an office. I don't know why they show that. So there's a cabinet. It is not insulated. This big building is not insulated. It was hot today, even on a pretty day, it was hot. These lights are just hung one light to another, all plugged into extension cords. So technically, this building would need some work. Over here is where the chicken coop is in the playground, right there. So there's the playground, and here's the chicken coop. And there you go. So there's that house, and here's your flattish part there. And even this is not flat, okay? But it's the flat-ish part. And behind, that's why there's no stairs off the deck, because all of this just drops down. This is the patio they made, and you do walk down the steps, so they have a little garden in this raised area, and that's it. You can walk here, but it's very steep. Even behind the building where this looks like you can drive around, no, you could not. Maybe if you had a go-kart. I'm not saying that right, like a golf cart. You might, if you're careful, be able to go back here because there's another door back here, but it's all downhill. Like all of this is downhill. You keep going downhill. There was a burn pile here, and you keep going. There's a septic in the back here. They have, this is the view from the front, somebody else's field up here. I mean, it's pretty, but it would be stretching to get this property, and then we would still need, there's a lot of the same type of pictures. Here's the back of the house, and down in here is some septic, and then down all the way in here is more septic. So there's some beehives in here, and you go down here is the septic, and over here is the clean out for the septic, and then down here, way down here is more clean out. And we're talking, it's downhill, way down here. There's the playground, and there's a little garden below the patio. And here it is. So it's a wide road front. We did look in these woods, and these woods, there's some level ground that could be used right here, just like over here. But that's it. All of this could be used for hunting. There's a hunting stand way back in here. Sorry. There was a hunting stand way back in here. So we walked all the way down in here, and there's a hunting stand here. And this is all downhill. Maybe that'd make a good zip line. You could have a zip line there. I don't know how you get back up. I mean, we walked up, but still. So what do you think? We did not think it was enough, because we would have to stretch to get in that. And even though we could be renting it out right away, it's a lot of stretching to not have things better suited, in my opinion, to not have better bathroom situations. Especially bathroom situations in the big living area for the crafting. But anyway, that's been our week. That's been my time. My mind. Sorry, I had a lot of these black drills are a lot of different shapes in here, or I should say sizes. So had some different sizes, but I've talked to Amy and let her know I didn't need to replace. I'm just using it. Now, if I knew from the beginning what I know now, I might have used several bags of our round glow drills. Why? Because they probably would have been more consistent in size, but then it would have been a cool element to have if the lights go off. Not that you're going to look at a diamond painting in the dark, but every night I walk by my diamond painting that I made for my son in the military, Josiah. It was the Brave Soldier one, and I made that glow drills, and every night I go by it, it's glowing. So it's pretty cool. So it's not like you show it off as glowing, but it just would have been a cool element. That's probably what I would have done had I restart this, is just put our round glow drills there, 310. Anyway, so that's enough. That's what I've been doing this week. I have gotten an education and learned how to do some digging and research there at the county office. Learned some things about recordings and warranty deeds and restrictions and the conditional use permit, which we will have to have no matter which piece of property we get wherever we go, because of what we want to do with the ladies and having the ladies into our home. That's what we would want to do. Now, we wouldn't live there as well, but into a home, that's what we would have to do. So anyway, there's my second WIP and chat. I got some down. I laid some drills down right. And thanks for spending your time with me and listening to me go into more details. Again, I told a little bit of this last night, but none about the house as far as the results of it. And I'll have to, I don't think we're going to go through with that. We did go back by the other land, and I don't have good pictures of that land, but I still feel good about it. My realtor is like, well, what do you want with the land? Why do you need more usable land? And it's going to cost too much to build on. So she wants me to be able to, instead of borrowing all the money and taking months and months to build, and then hopefully finally getting to rent, she was hoping that we could just find something that we could start renting and pulling in money right away to help pay for it, which is true. That's what I would like too, but nothing's built for what we want. So we have to either make do, or if we're going to stretch ourselves to the limit like that, which I don't love to do, is I'm thinking that maybe this is the way, and build the way we want. Oh, I didn't finish that. So Jerry's lawyer is going to try to draw up and negotiate with that sister to see if she'll accept that, because we can't move forward until they get a hold of the sister and the sister accepts that. And then if she accepts the payment of that, well, then she'll quit claim the deed over to Jerry, and then we can move forward with purchasing the land. So right now, that's just what today is brought. And I don't know what tomorrow will bring. More work. I've got to get the drills done. But we were so tired after being out all morning and walking, and I had a headache because I didn't sleep well. Went to bed late, got up early, and I wanted to take a nap. I didn't do that. I did talk to my mom for a while, and I'm like, oh, I just want to diamond paint. Well, wait a minute. I need to record a video. So there you go. That's how I got here. Got some drills down and was able to talk out again. Looking at those pictures again, that is exciting. I mean, it's a beautiful home. It just presents very well, except for the hill you drive up. Everybody in the car was like, wow. I mean, even my children, they're like, oh, Mom, I hate this hill. It's too scary, which is true. They warn you before you go. They were all like, the owners were, we were worried about this hill too, but now it's second nature. We're used to it. I have a Mazda. It's no trouble, except for a couple times, when it's ice in the year. That other than that, it's wonderful and it's not a big deal. Don't be concerned about the road. And I'm thinking, wow, the road is terrible. It's worse than the other road. And it didn't have the fiber internet, although it had everything already built, but we would still have to invest money into getting it insulated. I don't know. What do you think? Would you pay to come stay there a week? Because when I want to rent it out, I want to do like Monday through Friday and leave. You come in on a Monday and you can leave Saturday morning. So I want to do 5 nights. That's my biggest complaint with going to any of the retreats, is they're too short. I hate traveling all that way and packing up and spending my time when I'm just there for 2 days and 3 nights. I don't want to do that anymore. So let's see, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Now on the Great Lakes retreat, you get to craft half a day Thursday and then Friday and Saturday. So it's 2.5 days of crafting, and but you got to go in on Wednesday. So anyway, I just want to do 5 nights is what I would like to do. Because, well, that's what I want to do. Would that be long enough for you? Would that be too long for you? What does that sound like? Would you be interested in going to a retreat that, sorry, I got a little bug in here. I think we're breeding these bugs with our bananas. Yep. So would that interest you? What kind of, what's your opinion? Would you stay at a place like that for a week, Monday through Friday? Would you pay to do that? And we probably would not cater meals. Because that we probably would have a fully stocked kitchen, eggs and milk and cereal. We'd have a fully stocked kitchen, hamburger patties and whatnot. And I'm thinking that 2 or 3 ladies each night would be responsible for the meals. You know, that's what my mom has been to quilt retreats forever. And she goes, one of the ones that they go to, that's how they do it. Actually, they even bring the food. It's not even stocked there. It's just, I was just saying that we could stock some food. It's not far to town, but you'd have to drive down that hill in order to go get food, and you could. But anyway, what are your thoughts? What do you think? What would you do? How long would you want to stay? Would you be willing to go there? Would you rather have something that was made and dedicated just for the crafters and not try to retrofit a regular house, etc.? So I hope y'all are doing well and progressing on your canvases. And I appreciate you spending some time with me this afternoon, evening. So anyway, don't forget to shine bright and don't let anybody dull your sparkle. Bye now.